If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and here to make sense out of the senseless. Right here on SHR Media. Conservative media done right. This mixer driving me up a wall. Some of the dials for the gain are so touchy. You'll turn it and nothing changes, and all of a sudden, bam, the music or sound goes loud as hell. I'm going to have to send this out to get it fixed or get a new one. But let's see. Where should we start out today? Where should we start? Well, first off, I'm on air tonight. I know I said I probably wasn't going to be. My mother got delayed, so she won't be in until like 1:30 in the morning. So I said, what the fuck? Let me get on. I had some fun on Twitter today, as I normally do. Some days are not as fun as the others. But I love when I get these idiots. And we got talking guns. The pew pew. Kamala Harris never said that she's going to ban or confiscate or buy back guns. Really? That's just a conspiracy theory made up by right-wing job MAGA, blah, 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 blah. Then I break out. Where is it? See, the thing is, I've learned over the years not to run my mouth, or I try not to, without proof. I don't go off of articles that much. I might talk about them, I might reference them, but articles are written by humans and they're opinion pieces. No matter how much we want to say they're not, articles are opinion pieces. It's that author's opinion when they write it. Whether right, left, middle, upside down, I don't give a shit. They're opinion pieces. They will look for data that will support their position. Okay? I look for data that's going to support my position. I look for data, but usually find the data that supports my position. And here, it's not me. One of those, not me, it's you. Why won't this do that now? All right. Oh, closed it out. Mamma mia. Mamma mia, Papa Pia. I done screwed up. All right. See, what I do is when I come across this stuff, I download the videos. So, no. Why is that doing that? I just had it here early. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Oh, there we go. So, let's pull this up. You ready? You ready? I might play it more than once. And if it's too loud, I'm sorry. I'll turn it down a little bit because we know how her voice is.
I support buybacks, and I think that
wait.
we have.
What'd she just say?
I support buybacks, and I think that we have 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America, and we have 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America, and assault weapons have been designed to kill a lot of human beings.
This is one of the dumbest comments I've ever heard a politician say. And she's not the only one that makes it. It's made to kill as many people as possible. That's the purpose of it. Is to eliminate the threat. There's no gun out there that's going to, oh, this is meant to tickle you. Jesus Christ. And people buy into this. That's the worst part. People buy into this and, oh, well, it kills a lot. High speed. And the shit I heard between today and last night about ARs just floored me. And when I ask a simple question, I never can get an answer. They always deflect or shut up and go away. I'll get to that after these videos.
Quickly. They are weapons of war, and there is no place for them on a civil society, on the streets of a civil society. And it's something I'm so passionate about and so looking forward to being president to address. We've got to deal with this.
How mandatory?
How many politicians over the last several decades have you heard, if I'm elected, I'm going to ban guns. I'm going to ban assault rifles. I'm going to do this with guns. I'm going to make executive orders. And they don't.
Because your gun buyback program.
It's mandatory.
Second Amendment?
The Second Amendment, listen, we're going to have to do it the right way. There's no question about that. But we don't have any, we have to get these guns off the street. But I also, I have faith in the American people to know that, that we want to comply with our laws, and that I know that to be true.
Because legal gun owners aren't the one committing crimes. And I get so tired of that. And then I heard today, well, that was her before. She's changed. Really? All right. Now, she just did a CNN interview. Again, these are her words, not mine. Her words out of her mouth. Not I'm reading an article stating that she said this. This is video of her saying it. Now, here's the funny part about this video. I'll back it up. I was on my phone with my mother the other night. We were talking politics. And I said, what just came out of that CNN interview? Trump's campaign needs to splice that and make an ad out of it. I hung up the phone with her. I got on X. I keep calling it Twitter out of habit. And what do I see? But this. This I'll definitely play a couple times because it's beautiful.
My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Let me back it up again.
My values have not changed. My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat.
Her values have not changed. Her words, her values have not changed. Hey, everybody, do me a quick favor. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, follow buttons, whichever. I mean, I'm on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, X. Don't forget to give a follow, please. I appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the video. And we're going to listen to that one more time. Her saying it.
My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber. They should be able to vote.
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE.
Yes.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes, and I'm in favor of banning fracking. I am prepared to pass a Green New Deal. I support a mandatory buyback program. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross the border as criminals. The idea that more police...
Wait a minute. We're not going to treat people who cross the border illegally as criminals. Think about that. Anybody that breaks our federal laws crossing the border illegally, she doesn't want to treat them as criminals.
Police equals more safety. That's just wrong.
Policing, as we know, goes all the way back to slave patrols and that idea.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
We need to take a look at these budgets.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should.
70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic.
Chip in now to the Minnesota.
70 to 80% tax rate, people. She's 70 to 80% tax rate. What was it? Plastic straws. Banning plastic straws. So the paper straw comes in a plastic wrapper. Now, this one right here was a contention today during a conversation with a gentleman on X. If you're able to chip in now to the MN Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. That also posted bail for the rioters, those who were looting, and the arsonists. First, that was just the protesters. Then it was, it was the rioters, but not the arsonists. I loved how his evolution of his conversation. But here's what's funny. All the ones that I had today. Let me finish this up and I'll go to it. Because all these people that were attacking, all have one thing in common. But let's get back to the video.
The Freedom Fund.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
Psst, Merry Christmas.
I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about...
I am radical. Again, her words, not mine, not Trump's, not the media, not Fox News, not some conspiracy theory. Her words. These are her words, people. Now, remember, it was an 18-minute interview, if you want to call it an interview, that they released. I've heard it was actually 41 to 48 minutes long, and the campaign from Kamala, Vice President Harris's campaign, refused to let the other be shown. Why? Why? There's only one reason you would not want that shown. Because it's damaging to her campaign.
What we are doing.
Oh, we got more videos today. Today might be a lot of videos. Now, I want to show you something with the comments that I got today. And it's not that I'm calling out this gentleman. I'm calling out these accounts. Because I know what they are. And so do you. Maybe not that one. Let me see if I can find the others, because I ended up muting several of them because it went down to, instead of having conversations, it went into just a massive... Where the heck? Oh, shit. Now I'm not going to be able to find them, am I? It just went into cussing and yelling and degenerated conversations, and it just was not worth it. Now I'm not going to be able to. But anyway, no header on their X page, no avatar, only following and being followed by 5 accounts, and just made a couple months ago. You tell me what they are. So all they wanted to do was cuss at me, insult me, which I don't give a shit. But I'm not going to engage in that. I'm not. Especially if I'm giving you respect and have the conversation. I'm not going to engage in that. I'm not out for silencing. I have no problem with conversation. But if your whole thing is just to cuss me out, I dealt with that my whole career on the ambulance, getting cussed out left, right, and center by these people. I don't need to deal with it anymore. I won't deal with it anymore. I'll mute your ass. I have no problem with it. And I'll keep having conversations like the one gentleman. We had the conversation back and forth. We weren't insulting each other. We were disagreeing. Maybe a little snide remark here or there, but it was pretty respectful. I'll give him that. I will give this gentleman that. I disagree with him, but I'm not going to fall into that. No. Oh, man. Where are we? All right. Here we are.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. The Harris campaign really fucking stepped in it. Big time. Big time stepping doo-doo. See, they went after Trump because he was invited to that Arlington ceremony with the Gold Star families. They were invited, or he was invited, and they decided Kamala decided to attack him over it. Not a smart thing. It wasn't smart. Let me see if I can find. I don't want to misrepresent what was said. Didn't think it would be that hard to find. Because there was a big contention last night in my Twitter feed. They did not like what I had to say. Not that I give a shit, but and again, people got their little butts put on mute because I'm not going to put up with the bullshit. And they always got to try to deflect. That's the funny part. They're going to deflect off the conversation. They're going to deflect what started out, because that gun conversation started about, we went from that to talking about rioters when we were talking about Kamala Harris in her gun position wanting to do away with guns and confiscation and buybacks. It was pretty simple. I showed my proof. Nobody could show their proof. Just a bunch of yammering in the background. All right. What is it? This one? Yeah, I think it was. No, this is the post I put. We're going to get to those videos too, because there's 7 or 8 of them. They're like 2 minutes long each, and it was not smart. I don't know what they were thinking putting this attack out. I love Trump planned the withdrawal. Yes, he did plan the withdrawal out of Afghanistan. And Biden and Harris decided, because of their hate for Trump, that they were going to change it and they were going to speed up. They're going to speed up the withdrawal. They changed the plans. That plan got Americans killed. 13 of them. Because their hate for Trump. Now I can't find the damn thing. Their hate, they just rushed it to try to one-up Trump. And all it did was got 13 Americans killed. And they won't admit it. They won't go to these ceremonies. They hide. I hear this. As Vice President, this is Kamala Harris. As Vice President, I've had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. It is not a place for politics, as she's making it a place for politics. And yet, as we reported, this Donald Trump team chose to film a video there. Still haven't seen the video of it. This is nothing new. A man who, during a previous visit to the cemetery, reportedly said a fallen service member, I don't get it. What was in it for them? Which, again, previous reportedly said. So, in other words, they know it's a lie, but they want to throw that lie statement out there. This is a man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. I noticed this attack on him left, right, and center. The man lost like $1 billion so he can serve America, so he can serve the American people. I know people that have dealt with him. He cares about fellow people. That's why he's doing this. The one that doesn't give a flying fuck is Harris. She's been in her little fucking echo chamber for decades. She's been in Washington, D.C. for decades. That's her little echo chamber. She don't give a fuck about us. And I'm getting tired of that little bullshit. Because the only thing that comes out of that woman's mouth is lies. Her whole campaign is built on lies. So what she wanted to do, she wanted to attack him on Arlington and trying to invoke Gold Star families. Yeah, let's see how that worked out for her. Here's Gold Star Mother, number 1.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well. What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration, because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
That's one. Yep. All right. Here's number 2.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day, and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success. Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called, President Trump shows up, and President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
It just, the woman is unconscionable. It's repulsive how low she'll go. But it's normal for Democrats to do this crap. It's perfectly normal, typical of Democrats to try to use them like that. He didn't go there for political. He went there because he was asked to go by the families, because he stayed in contact with the families. Kamala Harris has had no contact with them. As she says, she was the last one in the room with Biden with the decisions being made. She was part of those decisions. She's part of the reason they're dead. Because of their hate for Trump, they put American lives at risk, and they got Americans fucking killed.
My name is Coral Dulero. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families.
It's not the first time that he has spoken and met with them. But Harris can't get off her fucking ass to pick up a phone and call these family members.
3 years until now, Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success, and for us it was just sadness and a disgrace. They are the responsible persons of murdering our kids, and until this day they did not give us a meeting. They did not accept to meet with us and give us an explanation of what happened. Being him the commander-in-chief, he definitely left our kids behind, and just to fill the agenda of his prior commitments. I invite Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to accept the meeting with us and meet with us and explain us what was the whole deal behind the withdrawal in Afghanistan. I think that as a parents, we deserve a explanation, and we deserve the truth of what happened with our kids that day.
That was 3 of the mothers. It's a heartbreak every time we lose an American due to a war situation. But the failure, and even liberal media has railed the Biden administration on this failure, and they call it a success. Shows you how sad and how little the Democrat Party is, that their only thing is they don't give a shit about the American people. They don't give a shit about the American military. All they care about is reversing what Trump did. That's all. Hurting Trump. That's all they care. They have such hatred that they're blinded by anything else anymore. Ain't no way ain't no fucking way I will vote for a Democrat. Your whole party is based on murdering babies and hating Trump. That's it. That's all we heard during the DNC convention. That's all I've heard out of fucking Harris's mouth. And I'm not totally against abortions. I understand. There's medical needs. There's some psychological needs. But they want to have it up until birth. They don't want people to suffer the consequences of their actions. And having a child isn't suffering. I shouldn't even put it like that. But using abortion as a birth control when there's a shitload of birth control out there for free. And also being responsible. Just put a fucking condom on. It's that simple. And don't bring up the rapes and the incest, because that is such a low percentage. I've already said those I can understand. It's using abortion, murdering babies as a form of birth control. And don't tell me I can't have a say in the conversation. I am a fucking American, and I have every right to have a voice in how laws are in this country, because you did not get knocked up by yourself. There was no immaculate conception going on. You got knocked up because you spread your legs and you didn't want to be responsible. And now you want to murder an innocent, unborn child. And don't give me this shit. Oh, well, it's not a child yet. Yeah, it is. What the fuck is it? It is a human being created by two human beings.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. All right, let's get on to the fathers. The Gold Star fathers. Hang on. Not yet. I need a producer. All right, here we go.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything. The irony behind your post that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
It's absolutely fucking heartbreaking that this woman, for political clout, pulled these families through this. Has gone out there and lied her ass off. And again, that's all her campaign has is fucking lies. Where are her policies? Last time I checked, they're still not even on her website to declare what her policies are. The woman is disgusting. I'm sickened by her.
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one in the room, are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13. Yet you're claiming that you will always be respectful and show respect for our fallen. You've been absent for 3 years and 8 months. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
I'm not done. This is what her campaign decided to bring out. She decided to drag these families through this. So I only feel best that they be heard in full.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. The events that happened on August 26, 2024, with President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery were solemn and in keeping with the reverence and respect that is given to all members of our military that are buried there. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. This was a very solemn wreath laying in our son's name, along with the Sergeant Nicole G. family, as well as two of our catastrophically injured military members that were there on that horrific day in the honor of our Abbey Gate 13. We then moved to the gravesite where our children are buried. Again, we asked the Trump team to take the videos, take the pictures of our time there. President Trump then laid a wreath at the graveside of Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Knaus. There he talked to both his mother and father. President Trump then moved to our son's grave, where we were surrounded by our family and friends, where we talked about Taylor and his sacrifice to this country. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning, when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military. Don't forget, Kamala, you were the last one in the room. You and Joe Biden made the final decision on how to pull out of Afghanistan. You created the chaos and mayhem for the military to accomplish their goals. Our sons and daughters made the best of a difficult situation, as they had been trained to do. They adapted and overcame all of that and came out as heroes, something that you will never know or understand. Kamala, we have been treated with the utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe Biden have refused to do since August 26, 2021. No, where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names.
And it's now being reported that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were invited too.
Names, just as you have done for the last 3 years. Neither one of you have called to speak with us or share in our grief. I wonder, Kamala, do you sleep at night securely in your bed? Or do you have nightmares of our kids because it was your incompetence and negligence that got our kids murdered? It is you who sends out messages on social media that are outright lies. It is you that has disrespected our families. It is you who knows nothing about service and sacrifice. It is you that has divided this country, and it is you who is unfit to be the commander-in-chief. These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day. You should be ashamed and embarrassed at your lack of empathy and decency as a human being. You are only in this for the power and prestige. You don't care for our military or the citizens of this country. You should hang your head in shame at your actions or lack thereof. You need to move aside, get out of the way, and stop hindering the progress, growth, and independence of this great nation.
It's disgusting how this woman decided. I just can't say it enough. She dragged these families through it. They've been through enough. And the fact that Joe Biden and this witch won't even return their phone calls. They got them killed, and they won't return the phone calls. They won't say their names because they're embarrassed. But it's becoming a very common denominator with the Democrats lately. They left how many to die in Benghazi? Now they left these in Abbey Gate. How any military personnel backs the Democrat Party is amazing. Democrat Party does not back the military. They never have.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Jonah, here to make sense out of the senseless. Right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. Well, there's two more Gold Star family members that have videos out. Well, we're not done. That's why I need a producer. I need to find someone locally that maybe a college student that's going through this that wouldn't mind doing this to learn more and get a little experience and help grow.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. And your administration killed my son. Deliberately in exchange for political theatrics so you could have a final day of the evacuation coincide with September 11th. Ignoring the advice of your generals, the Doha Agreement, and countless other veterans and members of Congress. Denying the safety of the Afghans and the servicemen and women. Your choice to play politics in 2021 killed 170 Afghans, 13 U.S. service members, and wounded 45 of our service members, as well as countless Afghans. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer...
And also, NBC tried lying, saying that she was there. They had put out a retraction on that. She was not there.
Thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name. So I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president, and contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer. I will pray for you, that God has mercy on your soul.
One last one.
Good afternoon. My name is Herman Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Gold Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration. You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Gold Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Gold Star families. Please stop making these types of comments because that support has not been demonstrated. Your words are hollow and empty. My other request is that for the American public to know that these messages, these promises from Kamala Harris, especially in regard to supporting the military and our military families, are false and baseless. They have not been proven, and she has not earned our respect. Thank you very much.
On a side note, I got to admit that shadow box that he has behind him in honor of his son, that is just gorgeous and touching. It is. I couldn't imagine what any of these families are going through. What this administration has put them through. It just... And then you have New York Times. I can't believe this. These articles that they put out. It's a little change up. But we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes. And I wanted to get this out here. Let me make sure everybody can read that. I should be able to read that. The Constitution is sacred. Is it also dangerous? New York Times. The Constitution was broken and should not be reclaimed. MAGA turns against the Constitution. We had to force the Constitution to accommodate democracy, and it shows. The Constitution won't save us from Trump. Trump will save the Constitution. Is the Constitution obstructing American democracy? Let's give up on the Constitution. The U.S. lacks what every democracy needs. This is a story how Lincoln broke the U.S. Constitution. New York Post. I'm going to put this as eloquently as I can. I want you to take a porcupine and a cactus. Squish them together. Ball it up real nice and tight. Then shove it right up your ass. Oh. There's a guy, Matt Lockey. If you're dominating Donald Trump in the polls, why would you be campaigning in states, Virginia, Minnesota, and New Hampshire, that you are saying that you're winning? The answer is, she's not winning. It just, I don't know. We are going to wrap it up in a minute, but let's have a nice little look at this again. You ready? Remember, everything I played, I played all this because I did not want this information coming from my mouth. Because could it get distorted? Not distorted, but I have a bias. George Trump and I have a bias against Kamala. So when I give my opinions, they're biased. I try to be fair. I try to be down the middle, but I can't. I'm human. I want to play stuff from her mouth, what she says. Let her mouth. Because this woman's dumb enough, she talks so much, she doesn't know what the fuck she's saying, and she tells everybody exactly what she's doing wrong.
My values have not changed. My values have not changed. My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically. Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber.
My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically. Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber. They should be able to vote.
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE. Yeah. Would you ban offshore drilling?
She wants prisoners, terrorists, allowed to vote in our elections.
Yes, I'm in favor of banning fracking. I am prepared to pass a Green New Deal. I support a mandatory buyback program. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals.
Let me back that one up too. Oh, I got to tell a little side story. I'm going to pause this right here for right now. My last show, I showed the letter from Mark Zuckerberg apologizing to what he did in the last election. Yippee, 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 yippee. Created my shorts, uploaded them all over like I do. TikTok took it down as election interference. Now, the funny thing is, I accidentally posted it twice. Only one got taken down. And I didn't know I had the other post, so I posted it again, just changed the title. Guess what? It didn't get down. Long story short is I appealed, and they actually put it back up. Leftists are afraid of the facts, and when you post them, they want them removed. Because they know if the true Kamala Harris is put out there, nobody wants that bitch.
The idea that more police equals more safety, that's just wrong.
Policing, as we know, goes all the way back to slave patrols and that idea of...
You are absolutely right.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
We need to take a look at these budgets.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should.
70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic.
Chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
Yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing.
It's all her words. Hey, I'll see everybody Friday. Have a great week.